Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Man, it wasn't pretty, faithful Niner Empire. It wasn't always pretty, but a win is a win. The 49ers start the season 2-0. And what could be better, right? This is what we wanted to do. Went on the road, first two games of the season, away at Detroit, away at Philly. To come out of those two games with two victories, that's just how we wanted to start the season. Obviously, we don't want the injuries, but we can't do nothing about that now. We started 2-0, and what could be better, man? Oh, man, let's say what's up to the people in them comments. And shout out to everyone watching Jay in the Bay, Facebook, Jay in the Bay, YouTube. That was a hell of a game. You guys got to let me know. What are your thoughts on the game? Let me know your thoughts on the game, man. Man, talk about bad luck for Trey Sermon. I mean, the first carry you get in the game, and then you get hit like that, you fumble the ball. Man, hopefully Trey Sermon is doing well. I know Elijah Mitchell left the game. They were looking at his shoulder a little bit, but man, that's a tough break for Trey Sermon. Very tough break. Very unfortunate to see him go out the game like that. Young hitter, what's good? Not 49ers, Lakers for life. What's good? Miss Bird Gang 31. What's good? I appreciate you for coming through, though. I appreciate you coming through, Mrs. Bird Gang 31. Now, where Mr. Bird Gang at? He got to come up here, too. No, but all respect to the Philadelphia Eagles. I knew it would be a tough, close game. I knew there wouldn't be a blowout or anything like that. It was a great defensive battle. The Eagles, they won the game in the trenches for the most part. The Niners, basically, we had like two great drives, two 90-plus yard drives. We really ate up the clock. We were able to move the ball down the field. And that was basically, that was the game. Also, Javon Kinlaw with that great field goal block. Also, with the 49ers stopping the Eagles on that fourth down in the red zone. Shout out to the 49ers defense. They held it down pretty much the entire game, especially in the first half. We needed it because the offense was lackluster. The offense couldn't really do anything. Basically, in every possession except one or two in the first half. So I appreciate you for coming through, though, Mrs. Bergain. The Eagles represented well. And the Eagles, I think they have a bright future. I definitely think the Eagles have a bright future. Jay, what's good? Appreciate you coming through, Jay. That's right. We start 2-0. Now we're on the road, or excuse me, we'll be at home Sunday night football prime time. Get some good old Green Bay Packers. And it's nothing better than to go into that game undefeated. And yeah, this is a great win. Special teams played well. Well, special teams all right. I would say this: the special teams. I would say the punt return coverage was good because it turned into a battle of defense and special teams, and it was all about field position. As far as the punt return, kick return, that left a little bit to be desired. But the punt return coverage was good. The kick return coverage was good. So I would say that the special teams did well in those areas. 49ers Lakers for life. He says he was scared for a minute, but we pulled through. I can't lie either, man. I did get a little nervous when it was 17-11. We got the ball back, and the 49ers ran the ball on that first down. I was like, man, Jimmy's going to have to make some throws. We're not going to be able to just run the clock out like that. And Jimmy made a throw to Kyle Juszczyk, and then Jimmy G with that quarterback sneak. But yeah, great team win. It's great to go up 2-0. Absolutely. Hopefully all is well with Trey Sermon. That's crazy. The first snap, first carry, and then you fumble, you get hurt. Hopefully it's nothing too serious with Trey Sermon. But yeah, very, very unfortunate for Trey. Yep, J 2-0. Mrs. Berger in 31, LOL, he's right here and about to do a post show now. I'm gonna have to come through on the post game. Oh man, but the Eagles, they didn't capitalize on especially in the red zone when they got that 91-yard throw and catch. I was like, the Niners need to make a stop here. Unfortunately, we did. But the Eagles have talent. There's no doubt about that. You guys got talent. You guys are a young team. And I think you haven't faced a defense like the 49ers yet, but I think you're going to be contending in that division for years to come. I think Jalen Hurts is good. You weren't able to capitalize on some plays, but that happens from time to time. But I think the Eagles, they are a up and coming team for sure, and especially in that NFC East division, I think they'll be just fine. Tavarius, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream. He says, Kyle, don't trust Jimmy arm. Dude can't throw past 10 yards. Now, I don't know if that's Kyle Shanahan not pulling up plays for Jimmy. I don't know if that's Jimmy not trusting his offensive line. I have no idea. But yeah, you're right. Jimmy did not throw many deep passes. I'm trying to remember in my head right now. Did he throw any deep passes? No. But he threw some intermediate passes, some 10 to 15 yards, specifically to Debo. He threw some passes too. I would have loved to have saw Kittle get involved more. The Ayuk show. We had an Ayuk show sighting today. He had one catch. It was a big third down catch though. But I guess Ayuk is still working himself into the game, and he's battling a hamstring injury, so that's part of the reason why as well. But of course, would I love to see Jimmy throw deep passes like Hurts did today? Would I love to see Jimmy throw for over 350 yards? Sure, but that's not the game plan. That's not the game plan. I'm not worried about fantasy points and all that. All I know is Jimmy, when he had to, he made enough plays to win the game. That's what it comes down to. Defense played great. We were able to run the ball just enough to control the time of possession. Jimmy made some good throws. I want to see the numbers on the third down conversions. That's something I want to look at because I know in the first half we struggled, but in the second half we definitely got better with that for sure. And shout out a hot diggity dog to Blue Truth. I appreciate you for coming through, Blue Truth. I appreciate that $20 super chat in celebration of the Niner Empire. 2-0. I appreciate that, Blue Truth. You're too kind. You are way too kind, Blue Truth. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was it's great to come off this East Coast trip 2-0. And, I'm looking forward to next week, and hopefully we get some more of our guys back. I was happy to see Kinlaw out there. Armstead was out there as well. Bosa had a sack. DJ Jones, go DJ. That's my DJ. Go DJ. I saw you out there, DJ Jones. He was making some plays in the run game and also, in the passing game as well by, not allowing Hurts to be comfortable in the pocket. And yeah. This was a great win today. Great win. Let's see. Jesus says Sermon got hit with a forearm and helmet. Yeah, I know. It was like back to back. So he got hit and he got hit, and then he kind of went over, and then the forearm to the head, which you can't do. So that was tough to see. And then he landed on his head as well. And we're talking about Trey Sermon. Very, very unfortunate to see. Hopefully he'll be okay and it's not anything serious, but that's crazy. Your first snap, you fumble, you get hurt. Like, it's very, very, very unfortunate to see that with Trey Sermon. Jesus says not enough pressure on quarterback. Yeah, I would agree. Hurts did, at times he did have a lot of time to throw. Demo Lenore, especially on that deep pass, he needs to start running full speed before the wide receiver gets to his hip, especially with Watkins, and he's got good speed. He allowed the receiver to get to his hip way too close, and he wasn't even playing bumper run coverage. He was already off the ball, at least 8 yards. But, he's a rookie. That was a rookie mistake. But, Josh Norman, he after those 2 penalties, you really didn't hear much from him. But, he played well enough for us to win. I'll put it that way. He played well well enough for us to win the game. And let's face it, we need him. So hopefully he will continue to get better. Jay says the Panthers won 26-7 versus the Saints. Yeah, hey, good for the Panthers, man. They look. I think they're 2-0, so they're looking pretty good. Jesus says Niners always struggle in Philly. Remember they got blown out in 94. I don't remember that game, but I will take your word for it. But yeah, it was a tough game. Philly is good. Philly is strong. Philly is fierce on their defensive line. That's their strength. We saw it. Y'all saw it, faithful. Y'all saw it, Niner Empire. Y'all saw it in the first quarter and a half. Philly's defense, when we tried to run the ball on the first down of our drives, we couldn't run the ball. Philly's defense was getting pressure, and they were getting pressure against Brunskill and Mack, but specifically against Brunskill. But Brunskill kept fighting. Brunskill kept playing. And he didn't let that get that. Didn't let that deter him from what he's supposed to do, which is to block and play all out. McGlinchey left. He left Sweat get a sack on Jimmy G. Well, it wasn't a sack, but he basically Sweat forced a throw to Jimmy G. And but other than that, I think the offensive line, McGlinchey played solid. Other than that, he gave up with Sweat. Trent Williams, you didn't really hear his name, but every time you saw a replay, he was dominating his defender. So we already know what to expect from Trent. And the offensive line blocked just well enough to continue drives, continue eating that time of possession. And I thought that was one of my keys. We had to win the time of possession and create some space for Jimmy to throw. And the 49ers offensive line was able to do that. Mrs. Bird Gang says, I'll give it to y'all. You guys were pretty good. I appreciate that. You guys were good too. We were just able to make a few more plays, but the Eagles, they have a bright future. I think they have a bright future. John, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, John. He says, did you see Trent Williams monster block on that Debo sweep though? He blocked dude all the way outside. Yeah, I did see that. Trent is a monster. And then also they showed Kittle as well. He made a block, and he pushed the middle linebacker all the way to the ground, and Kittle got up and celebrated. I wish we would have got Kittle involved in the offense more. I think he only had like 4 or 5 catches. But, these are things we can always want more, but I'm glad at the end of the day we got a win. Deebo Samuel was huge again for the second week in a row. He made some big plays. Juwan Jennings got his first touchdown catch and his first catch in the NFL. So that was good to see. I want to see Juszczyk used more on the passing game. I know he was used a few times, and I think we should continue to do that because for some reason, whenever he goes in the flat to get a pass, he's always open, and Jimmy can hit him. Sean T. Uber, what's good? Appreciate you joining the stream, Sean T. What a wonderful win for the faithful. For the Niner Empire. That was an excellent win. I'm glad we're coming back to the Bay, back to Levi's Stadium, 2-0. What could be better? Tavaria says, how many running backs are on this roster? So we saw Connor, the running back we signed from Baltimore. He was in kickoff return, and he had 1 snap at the running back position. So that's 1 running back. Wilson's on IR. Obviously, Mostert's on IR. So we have Mitchell, Sermon, Connor, and Hasty. And I think they said that Hasty left the game with a ankle injury. And speaking of Hasty, he fumbled the ball. You gotta look the ball in, baby. It's something that kind of take for granted because you want to look at the defense. You want to see where you're going to cut, where you're going to move. But the first thing is you got to look that ball in. And as soon as that ball dropped, I was like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Put Trey Sermon in, and then he fumbled and got hurt too. So, but fortunately, Elijah Mitchell was able to come back in. But we still have Kerryon Johnson on the roster. So, Connor, Kerryon Johnson, Jermichael Hasty, Sermon, and Mitchell. So we'll see the injury status of those players as we progress through the week. We'll see what's up with Sermon, and we'll see what's up with Hasty because Hasty has an ankle injury as well. And then also Mitchell, there was someone working on his shoulder on the sideline, but he was able to come back in the game. But that would be something that we have to, see how that progresses during the week. But we may have to get another running back. We may, depending upon what's going on with Sermon and Hasty. Sean T. Uber, I feel the same way, man. 2-0 feels good. Absolutely, it does. It feels real good. Matt Moses, what's good? Appreciate you joining the stream, Matt. He says we got our revenge from last year. Man, our defense stepped up without Greenlaw. Absolutely. Fred Warner was all over the place. I think our D-line played solid. There were times where we were better, and then other times we were just playing solid. It would be nice to get more pressure on the quarterback, absolutely, but, props to Eagles' offensive line. Their offensive line played pretty well, and they have a pretty good front on both sides of the ball. Matt Moses, exactly, man. 2-0 is a great way to start the season. Absolutely. Obviously, we don't want the injuries, at times, this was a defensive battle, field position battle, special teams. But, sometimes these are how games are. We're not going to always, blow out an opponent like Detroit every week, We're not always going to do that. And, I liked how we played today. Some of our fans were playing with the Philly statue. That's not cool. Yeah, I think what I saw was they put like a 49er flag or something across Rocky, the Rocky statue or something like that. What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know, for the people that are still in here. What are your thoughts on Trey Lance not playing a snap? Were you guys surprised by that? I was definitely surprised by that, but I wasn't, at the end of the day, it's about winning and losing. But what are you guys' thoughts on that? Let me know in them comments. I was surprised by it, but from a selfish standpoint, yeah, I want to see Trey Lance in there. I want to see what he could bring to the table. But a win is a win. I'm glad we got the win. And clearly Shanahan did not feel the need to put Trey Lance in there. Let's see. Jay says it is what it is. Matt said he saved that touchdown and lead to 4th and goal stand. Yeah, those were some of the biggest plays for sure on defense. Was Jalen Hurts. We did a good job on containing Jalen Hurts. I know what their last offensive drive, the Eagles, we were playing a specific defense, and that allowed Jalen Hurts to kind of run around. But other than that, we really didn't allow Jalen Hurts to use his legs to beat us, and that was one key, I thought, for a 49er victory. We had to contain Jalen Hurts, and that's something we did. They did run the read option. Nick Bosa got fooled on that one time. I was like, Nicky, stay outside. You got to stay outside. And he went inside, and that's when Jalen Hurts went around him, and I think he got a first down. But we did a pretty good job. So shout out to D'Amico Ryans. He did a good job in scheming up a plan to, defeat the Eagles. And that plan came to fruition. Jesus says Niners cornerbacks are always falling down. Yeah, well, it happens. Players are running top speed. Mistakes like that happen. Matt says we got the win. Everyone wrote us off. Eagles should have won by at least 2 touchdowns. Well, per Vegas, the 49ers were favored by 3 points. And, the 49ers, they covered the spread. And, yeah, there were a lot of people taking the Eagles. But I think the Eagles are not ready yet. The Eagles are an up-and-coming team. But they hadn't played a defense like this. And I can't say any more great things about the defense. They played great. I was a little surprised because, hey, we're missing our top 2 starting corners. So that's why I thought that, they would score, the Eagles would score at least like 20 points. And, they end up only scoring 1 touchdown. So that's incredible. Incredible that the defense only allowed 1 touchdown. I gotta say, what's good? And a hot diggity dog. KD, what's good, man? He says, I was surprised by it, but I think the Eagles defense played. They want to risk it. I would say, yeah, the Eagles, I wasn't surprised that the Eagles defense played well because I thought, the game kind of went along as who won the trenches. And in for most of the first half, the Eagles were winning the battle of the trenches, especially when their defensive line was going up against our offensive line. I think in the first quarter, we had like three and outs, so we were not able to convert on third downs, and that's because we weren't able to get positive yardage on the early downs. On first and second, we couldn't get positive yards, and then the offense would need to convert, like a 3rd and 8, a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 11, and obviously that's more difficult than converting like on a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. So the Eagles defensive line, they were the reason why the offense didn't look as crisp as it should have been. They were getting pressure on running plays. They were getting pressure on passing plays. And then that slowly started to change, a few drives in the first half and also in the second half. But yeah, the Eagles defense, they played, really well. And they can definitely hang their hat on that. The Eagles defense definitely was not the reason why they lost the game. Now, they did have penalties that definitely hurt them. But if you look at the Eagles when they played against the Falcons, they had 14 penalties. And that was one of my keys as well. To me, they could be like a borderline. They lack discipline as a team. And they had 2 penalties that definitely helped the Niners on defense. But I think overall, they played pretty good. The offense has to do more, They only allowed 17 points. Let's continue on with these comments. And let me know what you guys think about Trey Lance not playing a snap. What do you guys think about that? I think, hey, I want to see him out there to see, how he plays at the NFL level. How's he playing against other number 1 string players? But I'm glad we got the win, faithful. Let's see. Tommy says, what's good? Tommy says the Eagles choked. Let's go red and gold. Niner Empire. KD says the 49ers are 2-0. Don't it feel good, KD? Feels really good that we're starting off the season 2-0. We're going to have our home opener undefeated against them good old Green Bay Packers. Let's go. John, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, John. I know you enjoyed that game. He says Demo Lenore stepping up, though, with our cornerback depth. I thought Lenore, he looked solid. Were there plays where he was overmatched? Yes. But I think for the most part, I think he played solid, Lenore. Coming 2022. What's good? Appreciate you joining the stream, man. I know you enjoyed that win. That's for sure. Jesus says Niners always struggle in Philly, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, and Buffalo. Well, we only play, one of those teams in this regular season, so I guess we'll be good. Matt says we play Wilson and Murray twice a year, so people saying we were going to get blown out just don't know football. I think people overreact off of week 1. The Eagles had a great week 1, but let's be real. You can't compare the Falcons defense to the Niners defense. You just can't. There's no comparison. And the Falcons, they just didn't capitalize on opportunities they had in the red zone. The 49ers did. And that was part of the difference. We capitalized on opportunities we had, and the Falcons didn't. But, I don't think the Eagles are a bad team. I think they're a solid team. But there's levels to this. And, we were just better today, and we just made more plays. Matt Moses says, we see mobile quarterbacks twice a year. I was not worried. But let's be real, though. I think Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson are on another level compared to Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has the potential to be a good quarterback, but he's not on the level of Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson just yet. I don't think so. Tommy Huxley says, Mrs. Burgang, I told you we would beat you. I win. That's pretty good. Bay Area throwbacks. What's good? I know you enjoyed that win. I know you did. He says our offense needs to be more consistent. That first half was rough. It was. The first half was really rough. The offensive line couldn't block for the running game. They couldn't block for passing game. Jimmy G was off. He was inaccurate. There's no sugarcoating that. He did not play his best football, in that first quarter, that's for sure. But no one on offense did. There were players who were dropping balls as well, and we just need to get into a rhythm. And good thing we have a great defense. Because could you imagine if we would have went down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter? Like, that would have been terrible. But fortunately, our defense kept us in the game. Niners all day. What's good? I know you love that win, baby. 2-0. It feels good. Matt Moses says that tackle on the 91-yarder saved the game as well. It led to the goal line stand. You can never give up on a play no matter what, even though he was beat. Exactly. That was huge. Huge red zone stop by the 49ers defense. And as you mentioned, you never give up. And they didn't get any points, not even a field goal. So that was huge. That was basically a 7-point swing right there, that we did not allow a touchdown. So that was huge. And also that play where I think he went out of bounds. I think it was the Eagles receiver. He caught the ball. He was running, and then I think he went out of bounds. So that play was negated. That obviously helped us as well. John says Shanahan adjusted nicely to the Eagles' defensive line with the toss runs instead of handoffs and bubble screens to get the offense running. Absolutely, that's a great observation there, astute observation. The toss runs, we were able to get more positive yardage because we weren't running directly up the middle, and that's the Eagles' strength. We ran to the outside, we were able to get some positive yardage. And then, I think we should have did more screens. I think we did. I'm trying to remember. I think Kittle had 2 screens, and I think that was it. But, I think we should definitely do more screens when we have to worry about, someone's defensive line getting a lot of pressure, I agree, Matt. This one does feel good, man. It feels great, This is how I predicted the season would start. I thought we would start off 2-0. I think we'll beat Green Bay next week, but that's going to be tough. That's going to be Sunday night football prime time. But Aaron Rodgers, he's better. Newsflash: Aaron Rodgers is better than Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff, just a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do against the Packers. We got to run the ball effectively, and hopefully we don't have too many injuries in the week. Hopefully they're not too serious. Jay says the defense was great. Absolutely. John says, if you'd give the game ball to one player, who would it be? I give a game ball to one player on offense and one player on defense. On offense, I could give it to Debo. I could give it to Trent Williams. I would probably give it to Debo. He's been our best playmaker at the wide receiver position in the first 2 games. And in this game, he made great plays. And then with Trent Williams, we haven't really heard from Trent because he's just been doing his job. He's been blocking. He's been protecting Jimmy G's blind side. I would give it to either Trent or Debo. And if it was just one, I would say give it to Debo. Debo's looking great. And on defense, I would say, Nick Bosa did have a sack. Kinlaw had that blocked field goal kick that negated 3 points. Fred Warner's all over the field. We know he's great. I could easily give it to you. Can give it to Fred every week. I'm gonna give it to Kinlaw. Kinlaw's got big expectations. He's got big shoes to fill. Kinlaw. I was surprised he played, him and Armstead. But Kinlaw played good. He negated 3 points by his hand. That's a huge deal. So I'm gonna give it to Javon Kinlaw on defense. John said, I'd say Fred Warner. He played consistently. I could definitely agree with that. 49ers Lakers for life says, was not right game for it. Was not surprised. Oh, okay. You're probably talking about Trey Lance. Yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on Trey Lance not playing a single snap? 49ers Lakers for life gives their opinion saying it was not right game for it, but was not surprised. Yeah, it would have been nice to see him in there. Just from a selfish point of view, but I'm glad we got the W. It'd be interesting to see what Shanahan says. He'll probably say the same thing. He just didn't feel like there is an opportunity to put him in. Jay, I appreciate you for coming through to the stream, man. He says, got to go, Jay and the Bay. Have a good one. You do. You too as well. J.A. Aguayo 56. What's good? He says, we have to keep Jimmy G in as long as he is doing well. I would agree with that. And we have to give him the opportunity to get into a rhythm. That's another thing, too. Got to give him an opportunity to get into a rhythm. John says, I think Shanahan is hiding both Trey Lance and Ayuk. He's like brought Ayuk in to convert a third down, but still isn't using him to his potential. Yeah, I think he's slowly bringing him along. You know, hamstring injuries, they seem like they tend to linger during the season. They don't get better, so he doesn't want to push Ayuk. Ayuk was on a punt return, and I think Mohamed Sanu was back there as well. But you know, we're able to win in spite of having Ayuk at 100%. That's success right there, that we're able to win without one of our best wide receivers at full strength. That's a battle, and I think we've won that battle so far. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more of Ayuk in there, and you know, just a skosh of Trey Lance in there. 49ers Lakers for Life says would love for Trey to get more playing time. I would as well. But you know, if Shanahan feels you know, the play doesn't present itself or the opportunity isn't there, he wants Jimmy G to stay in there, I respect it. John says it's hard to contain a quarterback that can run. You want to add pressure as an edge rusher, but if you commit too much, they can run around you. Fine line to walk on, but I think we did good. Yeah, I agree, and that was one of my keys for sure. Maintain Jalen Hurts, not allow him to make big plays with his legs, and we basically, you know, did not allow him to make big plays for most of the game. It was basically that one drive in the fourth quarter where he kind of, you know, ran. But other than that, yeah, I think we did a pretty good job. I appreciate your sentiments, John. John says, yeah, I saw a stat that this is the first time the 49ers didn't score in a first quarter since 2016. Yeah, I saw that. And there's another stat that's recently been updated. The 49ers, since Shanahan took over, we are 8-1 on the East Coast. So, hey, that's pretty good. Corey Davis says, I was answering your question about Trey Lance. Oh, okay. You were surprised that Trey Lance didn't play, but thinks that the Eagles defense played. They wanted to. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. J.A. Guayo says, our defense was great when they had to, and Jimmy G made some great throws. Lenore is a freaking football player, and Norman got better as the game progressed. Yes. Yeah. Norman, you know, he had those early penalties, but we really didn't hear from him much after that. And, yeah, I think he played well, and he'll have to continue to play better. And Lenore got better as well. And Jimmy, you know, I think the last time I saw Jimmy G's stat line, it was like 19 of 26. And I'm sure it got, you know, it might have eventually went to 22 of 30 or something like that. But this is the type of game we're going to expect from Jimmy. He's going to take what the defense gives him. He's going to make some tough throws when he needs to. He was able to get out the pocket, run for a few first downs. It seems like he's more comfortable doing that now since he's not wearing the knee brace, and he's healed from that torn ACL that he suffered. And Shay Martinez, what's good? Appreciate you joining the stream. He says, Juwan Jennings' first touchdown catch. That's right. Yeah, I was glad to see that. Juwan Jennings got in there. First NFL catch, and first NFL touchdown catch. So that was pretty cool to get that all in one. And, you know, it's good to see Jennings. I want to see Jennings out there more often. It looks like right now Shanahan is comfortable with Debo, Trent Sherfield, and Sanu as the top three wide receivers. And right now that's working for us. J.A. Aguayo says our defense played great when it had to. Jimmy G, great decisions, no mistakes. Lenore is a freaking football player. Norman, oh, yeah, I read that one. J.A. Aguayo says it's a 17-game season. We have to be patient. Trey will have his time to shine throughout the season, faithful. Exactly. And, yeah, man, it's great to start the season 2-0. I got to say shout out to everyone watching on Jay and the Bay Facebook and also Jay and the Bay YouTube channel. Most likely I will go live tomorrow night and we'll talk about the rest of the game. Maybe dive into some stats, some things that the Niners did well, some things that the Niners need to improve on. Definitely talk about that tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to this Sunday night game next week against them good old Green Bay Packers. And it's great to start the season off, 2-0. Also, Kevin Givens, our defensive tackle, he left the field. I'm sure we'll get an update on him as the week goes on. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I saw Trenton Cannon, the running back we signed from practice squad. He was on kickoff returns, and I want to see if there's anything else that stood out to me during the game. Bosa had a sack. That second half drive where we scored a touchdown, that was a 16-play, 9-minute drive. That was incredible. That's definitely something we needed. And obviously, we're going to hear updates from Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell, Hasty, because those three players got nicked up in today's game. So, and also including Givens. So we'll get an update on those players. Looking forward to that. But I'm glad we got a win. I'm glad we're 2-0. I'm going to go ahead and watch the rest of the football games. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, have a productive work week starting next week. And, hopefully you guys will join me tomorrow night. We'll probably talk about, the stats from this game and what we can do to improve and what we did great. So I appreciate everyone coming through, checking out Jay in the Bay. It's a wonderful feeling to start 2-0. Wonderful feeling to start 2-0. This is exactly how I envisioned it. Less injuries, of course, but we can only continue to keep working, keep grinding. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. And Jay Wild, you have a blessed rest of your day as well. Shout out to 49ers Lakers for life. Oh, yeah, shout out to Blue True and Corey Davis for the super chat. I appreciate that. And you guys are too kind. And, I will see you guys tomorrow, either in the afternoon or night. I guess we'll see what comes to fruition. But the Niners are starting 2-0, and that's exactly what we wanted. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. You guys have a great night.